Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Things look a bit different today because I'm not streaming from my usual setup. So I'm not at home at the moment, but let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. That's one. That was the issue that was holding us up from starting at 10 p.m. Singapore time, of course. But yeah, problem is solved. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Please let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Aside from that, welcome to the Gameweek 25 deadline stream. Right, so lots of things have happened. Right? And yeah, I mean, lots of you are already saying in the chat, assistant manager, Watkins is fit, etc. So, okay, Gakpo is also a bit of a doubt, so there's lots of things to go through. Hopefully we'll get through everything today and answer all of your questions. But if you guys can help me out, please do drop a like on the stream before we get started. Right, so yes, alright, awesome, you guys can hear me. Alright, so let me just say hi to some of you guys in the chat first. LYL, right, Chaos, no, not Chaos, Chosen, ZW, Nicholas, moderator, and I see in the chat. Haidar, AFTAB, One for All says Watkins is fit. Henry, Unholy Holy, Ricky, and I see in the chat as well. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day. Alright, so lots of questions coming in already. Let me just talk through a bit of my thought process before I get to your question. So thought process wise, this is my team at the moment, and yes, I know Watkins is fit. I don't have a Gakpo, so I'm not really incentivized to move from a Gakpo to a Watkins. Neither am I keen on doing Isak to Watkins as well. So I'm pretty happy to just stick with Rodgers as the only option that I have. But just let me refresh the news on Ollie Watkins. Yeah, so at the moment, I think the press conference is still ongoing. Let me just double check. That's the thing with using a different setup. I can't speak to you guys and also serve the net at the same time. Just give me a moment. So I actually haven't seen exactly the Watkins news yet. So if you guys have any links or anything, let me know. But on Twitter, I haven't seen anything because I do think the press conference is still ongoing with Unai Emery. So if you guys see anything, let me know. Alright, so in terms of my thought process so far, yes, Rodgers is the only one that I have. I am not too fussed about only having one Aston Villa player. And even if Ollie Watkins is fit, I don't think I would go there. Because just because he's fit doesn't mean he's going to get the full game. I think it's possible that his minutes are managed, because I would imagine that they would rather have him for that Liverpool game as well. So again, not super incentivized to go for Watkins, let alone any Aston Villa defenders. So in terms of Liverpool assets, I have Trent's doing fine. Salah is the captain, obviously, and then I have Slot. So I'm not really in a position, like I would say many of the people with Gakpo, to think about whether you want to sell Gakpo and move to assistant manager Slot, right? So I think in that kind of a respect, as we get the questions, I'll go along and I'll see the different situations. But I think off the cuff, firsthand, if I had Gakpo, I think what is the most likely move I'd do is actually keep Trent and Salah, but I'd do Gakpo to someone like either a Chris Wood or a Mateta. That depends on whether you need that player to play in Game Week 29 or not. If you don't, you can go for Mateta. I prefer his fixtures. If not, you could go for Chris Wood. That's fine as well, even though the fixtures aren't the best, but he is Chris Wood, right? So aside from that, I think after selling Gakpo to either one of these players, I would pretty much go assistant manager slot. I'm pretty sure that the third best Liverpool asset is still Arne Slot for Gameweek 25. Right, so in terms of the yellow flags in my team, I only have Flecken here, yellow flag. That's the one where I had a bit of a doubt going into the team selection video as to whether he was fit. Thankfully, Thomas Frank has come out to say that Flecken is going to be fine for the West Ham game, in which case I don't have to make any transfers in terms of goalkeepers, and I wasn't intending to do so anyways. So what I have here on screen is pretty much what I'm going to go with in Game Week 25. So Flecken, Gabriel, Trent, Kirkers, Mbeumo, Rogers, Salah, Palmer, Salah captain, and then Vissa, Mateta, Isak up front. Right, so I do have Ahmad on the bench, but I don't see who I would bench for Ahmad. So that's pretty much it, and let's hope that the second week of assistant manager works out well. I got a pretty big red arrow, I would say, from about 48k to 106k, which is where I'm at right now, but it was largely down to my defense last week not doing well. So we'll see what happens, but let's get to some of your questions. Enough of me chatting. All right. I'll start at the top as always. Alright, so Lil says, oh dang, Dango, Otara, Wood, Mbeumo, Isak, Mateta, bench 1. Wow. Are there no other options that you could bench? I might be tempted to bench someone else there. Chosen ZW says, quick question, if Slot has a red card, if I activate the assistant manager, do I get points or he's out for this game week? So it doesn't affect your assistant manager points. Like basically, whether Slot gets a red card or not, or whether he's suspended or not, it does not impact the assistant manager chip. So in other words, is what everyone was saying at the start, like even before the assistant manager chip came around, or it was called the assistant manager chip, that it was really a team that you were picking rather than the manager, because the actual suspensions or cards that the manager get does not really impact the points, right? So happy enough to still have Slot here. Let me just check on whether Watkins is fit. Alright, yeah, he is fit. Ollie Watkins and Tyrone Mings are available to face Ipswich. Konza, Cash, and Onana, as well as Pau Torres, are out. Okay. Alright. Ricky, nice to see you in the chat as well. Sanchez to Kepa, or Emmy or Flecken. I like Kepa right now as a keeper. If I was going for a keeper right now, I think I'd pretty much go Kepa. Evening to everyone. Becky, nice to see you. Moyes to Silva or Iraola, I'm afraid of Villa. I think you pretty much, I'm still pretty certain that now you would still go for the double game week team. It's Moyes to Emery for me. If I had Moyes, I'd go Moyes to Emery. Start 2 from Gakpo, Wood, and Mbeumo. I go Mbeumo. Can we really bench Gakpo though? Can we really bench Gakpo? Watkins confirmed fit to play. Decision now. Gakpo to Nunes or Watkins. I have doubts either play both games. It's exactly that though. Like, right now, he's just back from injury, and bearing in mind that Villa do have a pretty tight schedule coming up, so I'm not so sure that Watkins is going to play a lot. And also bearing in mind one of the games against Liverpool, and I would imagine they would rather have him fit to play the Liverpool game. Wife's nephew bought his wife an ironing board for Valentine's Day. Is that what people do? Clive Wood will play. So Clive Wood went onto TikTok and basically said that he'll be there. Like his reply was he'll be there when people ask if he's going to be at the Southampton game. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't have Clive Wood, but if I had him, it's a pretty easy decision to start him, and then we'll see whether he plays or not. No way you would bench Clive Wood against Southampton away. Well, you go Pickford to Jorgensen and Njai to Watkins for a -8. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Kai Consult from Sweden, very nice. Nice to see you. What do you think about Gordon to Kluivert? Yes, I like the move. I like Gordon to Kluivert. I like Gordon to Mbumo. Even Gordon to Rogers, I think arguably is a fine move as well. Actually tempted to go Gakpo to Cunha / Wissa and then AM slot. Already have Wood. The thing with Cunha is I don't think you are entering at a really good time. Like I think Cunha's fixtures start to get good sometime around Gameweek 27, Gameweek 28. I think we would be moving slightly early if we go for him now. It's not the worst thing in the world. If you have Wood already, yeah, Vissa is one of the options. If not, I don't mind Mateta as well, to be honest. And Eze is back too. Ismail Sarr also fit. But AM slot is pretty much the play if you have Gakpo. I agree with that. Which one? Gakpo to Cunha and start Cunha or Gordon. Gordon to Bournemouth mid and bench Gakpo. Gordon to Bournemouth mid and Gakpo to Watkins for -4. Start Watkins or the Bournemouth mid. Keep both. Start Gordon or Gakpo. I think I go Gordon to a Bournemouth mid. Yes, that's what I do. Sanchez to Kepa. Oh, I answered this one. I would go Kepa. Why Vissa over Ahmad? Brentford poor away and Ahmad has a higher ceiling. I actually think that Spurs this week is not going to be as leaky as they were because they have players coming back from injury. They have a pretty good number of players coming back from injury according to the Ange Postecoglou press conference. So I don't mind holding on to the fact that I think it might be a trickier fixture for United. It's not exactly like United are tearing it up as well. Thoughts on Bowen? Not the one I would go for right now, I guess. Calvin, nice to see you in the chat. Toby as well. Lots of members in the chat today. Really, really nice to see all of you. Yeah, answered that one. Went Konate to Howson. Had 0.1 too little for Kirkis. Moyes to slot. Villa form has been bad recently and defense has many injuries. That is exactly it. Right? There's injuries to the defense. Konza's out. Cash is out. Pau Torres is out. I think Luka Dean at one point was playing centre back. The last game against West Ham, was it? I think it was against West Ham, and they looked so certain that they were going to win that game until Tyrone Mings came off, and I think it swung a little bit towards West Ham's favour. Toby says, took a -12 with 3 Everton players and still got a very small green. Very nice. Have a problem with Njai right now. Seems like many having problems with forwards. The truth of the matter is that right now there's not a lot of good forwards to go for. And that is the issue. Like, if you go for Vissa, fixtures are great. He's not exactly doing very well over the past few weeks. Neither have Brentford been. Wood comes into a run of tricky fixtures. Gakpo is a bit of a doubt. Isak is fine, but pretty much everyone has him. Bearing in mind that also it's Man City, Nottingham Forest, and then Liverpool in the next few. And then Mateta he's good as an option, but he blanks in 29. So all of them pretty much have their own cons, I would say. Is Ollie Watkins fit or not? Yes, Ollie Watkins is fit. But again, it depends, right? Like, what do you think the minutes are going to look like? Bench Wood or Wissa? I would never bench Wood. He's the penalty taker, especially against Fulham. I go Wood ahead of Vissa. Which one to bench out of Mbumo, Dangle, Clivert, Gakpo, Isak, Wood, Palmer, Rogers? Whew. I don't know, it feels like Gakpo is going to get the least minutes out of those though. Is he even fit? But benching a double game week player... This week, benching decisions are definitely tricky. I've seen a couple of similar ones like Taylor's one. Gakpo to Oli and bring Slot in. I would think that is the popular move. I would think that's the popular move. If you can get to Watkins. Ahmad to Trossard or Mbumo for a -4. I wouldn't go Trossard. Like, if you want to take a punt on Arsenal assets, I actually think Ethan Waneri is the one I would go for. Cheap, good. And yeah, you capitalize on the fixture. Start Aina or Mikalenko. I want to say Mikalenko. I have Mateta already. That's Toby. Becky says, I have Content Rogers contemplating transferring him out for Kirkes. I'm doubting Villa will keep a clean sheet, and Jai is out of commission, so it's Mateta or Watkins. Konza to Kirkes seems straightforward. And Jai for Mateta or Watkins, again, I mean, it depends, right? What do you think the minutes for Watkins is going to look like? I don't imagine it's going to be so good, so I'm not super keen on Watkins. But then again, Mateta blanks in 29. Barath says, so Gakpo is out. I mean, it's not completely ruled out, but he is quite a bit of a doubt. Foden and Njai for Rogers and Watkins, worth a -8. I would say it's worth it for now. Like, to anyone who's bringing in Aston Villa players right now, for now, it seems like it's worth it. But the main concern I have is what's the chip strategy that a lot of you guys are implementing. If you intend to navigate blank game week 29 with just free transfers, then bear in mind that as you are bringing in Aston Villa players, you are pretty much booking a transfer or booking however many transfers for the future, depending on how many Villa players you bring in. So it's just something you have to think about. Like, if you bring in Aston Villa players now, you probably have to ship them out before game week 29. VJ, and I see you in the chat, another member as well. Lots of members in the chat. Love it. 17 likes. I haven't actually seen. Around 21 likes now. 21 likes. But I think today is a Friday deadline. And today is one of those deadlines that I think people may forget for a couple of reasons. Like, firstly, FPL Game Week 24 was stretched over such a long period of time that I think many people got disengaged. I think it's worse than an international break, to be honest. And then there's Valentine's Day as well. So I think people's probably gonna miss this deadline. If you're on the stream, you're probably one up on all your mini league rivals already. One of the reasons why I had this thought was because I will solve the benching headache of benching Wood and Bumo. Ah. That actually makes sense, you know. That actually makes sense. You're much happier benching someone like Cunha this week, I think. Yeah, I from that perspective, I think it's worth it, and I think that's why the context is so important. Like, you have all your other players that you can play. Benching Cunha is just not the worst thing in the world. Start Wood or Clivert as the last attacker. I really don't like benching Wood, but I'd say Clivert has the better fixture, right? Will Clivert play? That's the big question. He says he'll be there, whatever be there means. Toby says, yeah, Watkins minutes most likely reduced with Marlon and Rashford waiting. That's the thing, right? Like, people think that Watkins is still first choice. I think he's first choice as well. It's just the depth of attacking options at Villa. It's so great that they don't have to take any risks with Watkins. I think you give him 50 to 60 minutes, and Emery loves to give people like 55 minutes. Like, he always takes them out before the 60th minute mark, but you give him about, I don't know, 50-ish minutes, sub him off, give Rashford, Marlon a run out. I think Marlon specifically, because he was left out of the Champions League squad, he's probably, seething from that. So I think Marlon gets a good couple of minutes as well. And then Watkins, you could start him against Liverpool as well. So I think they're definitely going to manage Ollie Watkins. It's not going to be a case where he's going to come back and play 90 minutes, etc. So, not super keen. Any news on Gordon? I think the latest news from Eddie Howe, let me just double check. I read something. From what I remember, he should be fine. Yeah, Anthony Gordon should be. It's exactly that. Should be fine to face Man City is exactly what Eddie Howe says. Should be fine. Don't own Mbumo. Should I sell Gakpo for Vissa for a hit? I don't think it's a case where you need to rush and go out to get Brentford players, but selling Gakpo for someone so that you could maybe assistant manager slot is definitely a play that I think is worth it. The replacement depends on how much money you have. I would rather go for someone like Mateta, to be honest. But the thing with Mateta is that he blanks in 29. So chip strategy and everything comes into consideration. Is Gordon fit? Gordon should be fine. But I don't mind transferring him out to someone like Kluivert is one of them. And Bumo is another one. And Rogers. I think these three are the ones that I would go for. Lewis Kelly or Winieri. I think right now, like, if there was a player I really wanted to punt on, I would like Winieri. Wait, there's news of a double game week 32, is there? Give me a moment. News of a double game week 32. Is there? Not really. I mean, am I missing something? 32. Oh. Double game week 32 for... Oh, wow. A date has been... Alright, so I don't have my usual setup. Thanks, Ricky, for pointing this out. So I don't have my usual setup, but as we're on the deadline, double game week 32 has been announced for Crystal Palace and Newcastle. How is that going to impact moving forward? We all expected double game week 33 to be wow. Then I think in this case, for those with assistant manager not used yet, you might be keen on using it in 32 instead. So you get 32, 33, double, and then 34 as a normal game week, or even 31, 32, 33. I think I'm pretty sure people with assistant manager now, not activated, are going to save it for the double later on. Wow. This is huge. Whew. I think definitely this changes the assistant manager plans, man. No longer is it going to be a case where if you don't have assistant manager active now, that you need to rush and go and activate it. Insane. Double Gameweek 32 was never on the cards. Was never on the cards. I mean, Ben Crellin didn't say anything about it. Right, so for those who just joined the stream, thanks to Ricky, by the way, Double Gameweek 32 is confirmed for Newcastle and Crystal Palace. So it's going to be a double of Manchester United at home and Crystal Palace at home for Newcastle. And then for Crystal Palace, it's Man City away, Newcastle away. So I don't think you'll be rushing to go out and get players from there, because I would imagine that a lot of people are saving their wild cards. I would think that wildcard 31 is going to be even more popular now instead of 30. But wow, that is huge. That is huge. What do you guys think? Kevin says, saw the Discord reminder for the deadline. Yeah, exactly. I think some people are going to miss this deadline. But maybe with the Double Gameweek 32 news, it shakes up the community a little bit. Vissa, Isak, or Raul Jimenez. I think I would probably bench Vissa out of the three. Semenyo, Kluivert, or Dango. I brought up Semenyo and I already regret it. I would say Kluivert still, just for pens. I mean, being on pens is a big thing for me. Can we aim 50 likes? We are at 27 likes. There's not going to be a lot of people on today's stream, I imagine. And we are quite a bit ahead of the deadline, so... Right, bench Vissa or Isak? No way I'm benching Isak. Which player will you take a hit for? I have Rogers, Semenyo, Palmer, Salah, and Ahmad, and I want to take off Ahmad. You want to sell Ahmad now, but I think in Game Week 26 he will have Ipswich, so I don't think you want to not have him then. Yeah, I think all those players are fine, to be honest. I have most of them. Don't see much pros for 3 Villa assets. With Njai out of action, Gordon doubts. Another option is to bench Ndai and Konza and transfer Gordon for a Bournemouth or Arsenal player to save free transfers. I mean, definitely we bring in a player with fixtures in 29. I think you can add Mbumo to the mix as well. Yeah, I don't mind all those as options, like Bournemouth mids, Mbumo, Wanieri. I don't mind all those options. Will you take a hit to sell Gakpo? That's the tricky thing, you see. Like, it's not definite he's gonna be ruled out, but I would think that with the amount of fixtures that Liverpool have coming up, it's a really tight run for them. I don't see why they would need to risk him if he's a bit of a doubt. So I honestly think, Gakpo's situation is not looking great. Would I take a hit to sell him? You see, that's the thing. Like, before this, I was going on and on about how I don't mind selling Gakpo, free up the third Liverpool spot to go for Arne Slot. But now with the Double Gameweek 32 announcement, I don't think it's a case where you need to rush and activate the assistant manager. I no longer think that it's that big of a rush. So actually going Cody Gakpo to Watkins does make sense as well. It does make sense. just the minutes again then. The double Game Week 32, I still haven't gotten over the fact that double Game Week 32 announcement came during the stream. My word. Let me just change the okay. I think I have it saved. Alright, okay. Let me get back to the questions. Bench Vissa or Rogers? Definitely not benching Rogers this week. I start Rogers. Triple captain Salah. I guess you could. Would I do it this week though? I don't think Liverpool have another double. So if you want to triple captain Salah, I think this is pretty much one of the last few game weeks, one of the last few doubles you'd have. So I think I don't mind it. Bench Munoz or Kirkes? I want to bench Kirkes this week. So I would start Kirkes. I have Salah, Gakpo, and assistant manager slot. Should I switch Gakpo to Mateta/Cunha? As it stands, I can just play Isak instead of Gakpo, and all 5 of my midfielders can play this week. Then I think you just do that. Benching headache. Do I bench Vissa or Rogers? Have to start Rogers. What's the news on Gakpo? He is a bit of a doubt. If people are going to free hit in 34, there will be a problem with assistant manager in 32 too. Yeah, so then they can pretty much just assistant manager in 31 then. Assistant manager 31, 32, 33, and then free hit 34. It still makes sense. Stuart says not playing Ahmad against a leaky Tottenham defense. The truth is, I think recently they've been a little bit less leaky. You bear in mind they were at Brentford at the G-Tech and they kept a clean sheet. That doesn't happen a lot. And they have players coming back now. So I think, yes, we all have this perception of Tottenham. The truth is that they've had a really thin squad. So players coming back from injury now is definitely going to help them. And I mean, it's not exactly like Manchester United have been tearing it up. So who would I bench then for Ahmad? Would I bench Vissa to start Ahmad? Calvin says, yes, I just activated the assistant manager chip too late for double game week 32. It's honestly, no one was expecting this announcement. Toby says, Premier League suddenly so proactive, announced early on double game week 32 for Palace versus Newcastle instead of 33, which was predicted. Yeah, exactly. No one saw this coming. I think even Ben Crellin didn't see this coming. Sorry, missed this. Again, Mbumo, Wood, Isak, Rogers, Dango, and Mateta, bench 1. Who are the other two though? I'd say Salah and Palmer, probably. So have to start Rogers. And then I would start the penalty takers as well. I think it comes down to either one of Wood or Dango, to be honest. Yeah, I'll leave that one to you. Advice, if I should bench Vissa or Rogers, I would start Rogers this week for sure. Hold or play the assistant manager. I think I would hold it. If I haven't activated it, I would hold it for the later double-double. Eze doubles in 32, blanks in 29. He is a headache. Well, the thing is, I think it is in a lot of people's strategy to wildcard after the blank. So in which case, this double game week 32 announcement just becomes a bit of a by the way kind of thing. Because if you're already wildcarding in 30 or 31, you don't mind just having the added information, and that just changes your wild card a little bit to have more doublers for 32 as well as 33. But I think in terms of planning right now, I don't see how it massively changes what we're doing, aside from the fact that it may change when you use the assistant manager, for those obviously who don't have it active yet. So aside from that, I don't think this double game 32 announcement changes too much for now. That's obviously based off the fact that you would be wildcarding sometime later down the line, and I honestly think that a lot of people have not used their wildcard. I haven't made any like wildcard videos as well, but I think soon I will start to make the wildcard videos as we approach the window where wildcard is going to be popular again. So I'd say anywhere from 30 onwards is going to be a wildcard window. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you have Eze right now, would you keep him? I think Eze is a fine hold. It's just a question of whether you prefer his fixtures now over someone like a Kluivert that you mentioned. But Kluivert plays in 29, Eze doesn't. So if it's part of your plan to navigate 29 with free transfers, then I don't mind making this transfer. Vissa or Isak for Watkins this week? I wouldn't sell Isak. And I'm not super keen on Watkins minutes. But if you are to go and get Watkins, I wouldn't sell Isak for that. Dango or Vissa, I prefer Dango. Thank you very much, VJ, for the plug. Do subscribe as well if you haven't. I think we are closing in on 11,100 subscribers, so it'd be nice to get there. Bench Vissa or Munoz? I would bench Munoz. Which two should I start from? Kluivert, Gakpo, and Wood? It's very hard to say that I'm gonna sit here and bench Gakpo. The more likely thing I do is just start him if I had him. If you don't want to sell him, then you start him. Would you keep Gakpo in for Isak to come in as a sub, or put Gakpo on the bench? I really wouldn't like benching Gakpo. That is the truth. And as much as possible, I still try to start Isak. So I think the honest thing that I would do is to sell Gakpo. I think I would sell Gakpo. Wolverine says, "Hi Learn, for the first time I'm watching live while still in a meeting at work at the same time. All the best this weekend." Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very, very much. I do know that some people are only able to make the stream when I stream at these kind of timings, despite the usual streams that I do being 3 to 4 hours before the deadline on the weekends. Yeah, some people aren't awake yet or something. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see those of you guys who can't make it for those streams but are here today. So thank you for tuning in. Viknesh says, already done Sa to Kluivert, thinking if I should do Isak to Watkins for -4, not to free hit in 29. Then I don't think you do the -4. I think you just keep Isak. Bench one between Collins, Mikalenko, or Robinson. Probably Collins. Take -4 for Ahmad to Wanieri. I don't think it's necessary because Ahmad has a good fixture next week. Gordon to Mbumo for free, or Gordon to Kluivert and Ilanga to Bowen for a -4. Money is a constraint. Gordon to Mbumo for free is what I do. Start 2. Wood, Vissa, Isak. Wood and Isak is what I do. Aina will keep a clean sheet in front of Fulham. It's not impossible, but I just think it's less likely than someone like the decision just now was Aina. There was a question earlier. Aina or Mikalenko. I think I chose Mikalenko in that one. I still think that's what I do. 40 likes, thank you very, very much. Gakpo out or what? I would lean towards selling Gakpo. Would you sell Sain and Jai to get Watkins and Dango in? Already have some menu would be for -4. I don't think I'd do that. But I still think the -4 could be worth it. Just not on Watkins and Dango. On, someone like a Mateta, Wood, Wissa, for example. Someone who plays in 29 would be good if it's part of your strategy. And then in Sar to one of the Bournemouth mids, I think that's what I do. Like Kluivert, I think I'd go Kluivert there. So perhaps wildcard 30, assistant manager 31, 33, free hit 34. Hopefully we know all the doubles by 30. We should know most of the doubles by 30. Even if we don't get official confirmation, Ben Crellin would have a much better prediction come game week 30. So yeah, I think what's very likely going to happen is exactly as you say. So navigate 29 with free transfers, wildcard in 30, so that in 31 you can start your assistant manager, have it for double game week 32 and 33, and then you free hit in 34. I mean, honestly, the double game week 32 announcement is great for people who have chosen to triple captain in 24 and are now deciding whether they want to assistant manager or not and haven't done it. I think you guys are having the edge right now because you could very well use it later on for another double-double. The thing is that we didn't think that there will be another double-double this week. We all thought that 24 and 25 being a double-double was going to be the last one there is this season. But now that we've heard the double game week 32 announcements, I think it definitely changes the strategy to something like a wildcard 30, AM 31, and then free hit 34. That's going to be very, very popular. Use a free transfer on Hall for Kirkes, took a hit and Gordon for Tara. Was it worth it? Hall for Kirkes is fine. Hit and Gordon to Atara, I guess it wasn't absolutely necessary, but I don't mind it as well. He plays in 29, so. Start Isak or Raul. Have to go Isak there. Start Flecken or Henderson. I would go Henderson. What do you think? But Flecken is fit, by the way. What do you think will be your plans now that we've used the AM? Just got here. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't change too much of my plans, to be honest. Like, I've already used the assistant manager in 24. I intend to have it in 25 as well. And then 26, we're going to AM still. Now, for the next, I would say 3 to 4 game weeks after that, no chips. And then come 30 or 31, I would wildcard. And free hit in 34 is likely the plan. So I guess you could say that I would not have chips active for a lot of the game weeks moving forward. Like it's 30 is one, 34 is another one. I think that's, I mean, bench boost in 33 is also, it's also one of the things. Oh, that's another thing, I guess, that if you bench boost in, if you want to bench boost in 33, if you have your AM active in 31, you can't bench boost in 33, in which case you're forced to bench boost in 36 later down the line. So again, it depends, right? How big is double game week 33 going to be as compared to double game week 36? I would say that for now, because of the double game week 32 announcement, maybe double game week 33 is not as big as we imagined it to be. So maybe the case to bench boost in 36 could be greater, but a lot of if, buts, and maybes, and it's fresh. I mean, it's fresh information, so pretty much this is just my raw first thoughts. I'll try to put together something. I'll have a transfer plans video tomorrow probably, and yeah, I'll try to discuss more in depth. But I mean, double game week 32 is just rocking the FPL community right now. Okay. Yeah, so long story short is I don't think my chip strategy changes too much. Robinson or Mikalenko, who to start? I would start Mikalenko. Should I AM this week? If you don't have your AM active, don't use it this week. Use it in 31 instead. You get one extra fixture. Sell Son to Tell to upgrade Pedro to Watkins. I mean, I wouldn't be going out to buy Spurs players now. Pickford or Henderson, I prefer Pickford. Will Isak score against City? My guess is I think he will. But I can't read the future. But I think because they're so leaky right now, I don't think it's difficult for Isak, who's playing at such a high level, to get some returns. Gakpo to Watkins, Gordon to Dango. Arguably, but I think it is dependent on your thoughts on Watkins' minutes. Should I start Gakpo? My preference would be to sell him because I think he's too big of a doubt. Should I do I mean, there's no reason why I think Arne Slot has to risk Gakpo if he's not ready. Flacker says, hi mate, big fan. Would you start Robinson or Howson? Thank you for the support. Would I start Robinson or Howson? I think I'll start Howson. Bench boost should be at 33. Biggest double in 33. Yeah, but if those people have AM active in 31, then they can't bench boost in 33. They probably bench boost in 36, right? In which case, maybe they save the wild card, you know. Maybe the next strategy for them would be not even to use the wild card then in 30. I think it's possible, especially now with like Crystal Palace and Newcastle players being in our teams. Some have Munoz and Mateta. Some have Isak and Hall, for example. You hold them through, navigate the blank, bring them back in after the blank, and keep them for the double in 32. Don't necessarily have the wild card. You could delay it to 35 just before you bench boost in 36. I think that could be the better strategy. Let's do a poll then. To try and just put this into what chip strategy would you prefer? So let's say you wildcard in 30 or 31. Sorry, wildcard in 30, AM in 31 to 33, free hit in 34, bench boost in 36, or AM 31 to 33, free hit 34, bench boost, sorry, wildcard 35, and bench boost 36. Other. What I'm trying to piece together what I think would be the strategy people would prefer. I mean, this is very raw, so let me know what you guys would do if you were in this spot. Like, would you save the... I know a lot of people don't have their assistant manager already, but if you had, what would you lean towards? I'd probably actually lean towards the wild carding just before you bench boost option, you know. But yeah, let's see. $50 likes. Thank you very much to all of you guys who have liked the stream. Appreciate that. Start Ahmad or Gordon. I still say start Gordon ahead of Ahmad, even if it's against City. If not, you sell him to someone like a Kyrgios. Sell him to someone like a Kluivert. Will there be a double in 36? It is very likely 36 will still be a double. This double game at 32 announcement does not change too much in terms of predicted doubles and blanks for the future. It's just an additional game week where there will be a double. 32 was honestly unexpected. Start Wood or Vissa, I prefer Wood. Gutsy to start Gakpo. I can't get Mateta, but I'll have to bench him or Vissa. I would be very uncomfortable starting Gakpo, to be honest. Kepa or Flecken, I prefer Kepa. Bench 1 out of Semenyo, Kluivert, Palmer, Vissa, Isak and Gakpo. Vissa then. Gakpo to Mateta. Yes, I like that move. Condolences to those activating their assistant manager this game week not having heard the news. That's the thing, right? Like, who expected this? They could have done it like way earlier, and we could have all planned for it during that long break that we had. They waited till today, on Valentine's Day, to drop the news. What's going on? Kluivert will play. He says he will be there, based on what he replied on TikTok. Wood or Dango? Wood for the pens. Calvin, appreciate the plug. Daddy Chill says start Ahmad Acuna. I would start Cunha. Just about for the pens. I mean, you never know what happens, but just about. Damsgaard or Ahmad? Ahmad. What to do with Gakpo if you have him already? I would be leaning towards selling him. Yeah, Calvin is one of those. Activated the assistant manager not having heard the news. Salah, Palmer, Mbumo, Semenyo, Rogers, Isak, Mateta, Gakpo. Who would you bench? Really, really tricky. I mean, Gakpo is the biggest doubt there. He's the biggest doubt there. Can you take benching a double game week player though? I might just even if it's a combo move, I don't mind just selling Gakpo, downgrade him, free up funds to do something else with the funds this week. If not, I mean, benching him is probably, it's not something I'll be happy with, I guess. Play AM on Emery now or hold for the future. I think if you have the assistant manager chip not activated yet, you're one of those lucky ones. Don't use it now. Use it in 31 instead. Use it in 31. That is the way to go. Man the Myth the Legend, hello, says Everton's next penalty taker after Calvert-Lewin and Njai. They don't have many penalty takers now, I'd say. Who would actually step up to take the pens? Beto? Probably Beto, I guess. Gordon to Kluivert and Dango. I prefer Kluivert. Ollie, Watkins or Isak to start. I would start both, I'd say. Do you think Gordon out for Mbumo is worth a -4 this week? Nah, probably not. What is the announcement? Double game week 32 for Newcastle and Palace, exactly in the title of the stream. Cunha or Vissa for Njai next week. If it's a move next week, I think you could wait a little bit. Probably Cunha then, because by the time that comes around, Cunha is going to be close to the swing of fixtures for Wolves. Selling Gakpo worth a hit? Probably not. Bench Gordon or Milenkovic has to be the defender. So Milenkovic, who would perform better between City and Newcastle? You would back Newcastle to be doing better. Bench Palmer or Gordon? Never benching Palmer. Would you sell Gakpo for a hit? No, I wouldn't do it. Lots of people have good benches though, so you could just bench him if you really need to. Own Isak and Wood up front. start Ahmad or Gakpo. I would sell Gakpo to someone to start. Like a Vissa, a Mateta, Cunha, even a Wood. I would do that. Why sell Gakpo? He is too big of a doubt. He's too big of a doubt for me, I think. Now the thing is, because not many people are going to activate the assistant manager and instead save it for AM31, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world to keep Gakpo. Then you go Trent, Salah and Gakpo. But then again, like, he is a doubt, right? So are you confident of his minutes? And if you're not, would you rather sell him to someone like a Watkins? Because honestly, who else would you be comfortable selling Gakpo to? Darwin Núñez, would you even go there? Jota? Minutes just not secure enough, I think. But I don't mind those who prefer to save the assistant manager for later on. I think it would make sense as well. And then justify keeping Gakpo. I guess that's one of the ways you could do it. Eric, there's a double game week 32 for Newcastle and Crystal Palace. Premier League dropped the bomb today. Come on, Brian. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to sell Gakpo, if you intend to save the assistant manager chip for later down the line, let's say game week 31, selling Gakpo is not absolutely necessary. You could start him and chance that he plays. It's possible. But my honest thoughts is that I don't think he gets too many minutes. Not that it's worth a sell, right? Especially now with the AM on slot not being as I think not being as attractive as it once was. Bench Ahmad or start Kluivert? I would start Kluivert then. Should I bench Gakpo or get Mateta? It depends on your strategy again, right? Are you on AM31 or are you on AM25 this week? Activated on Emery, I see, okay. Eze or Gordon? I think Gordon's fixtures moving forward are really not great. Eze, on the other hand, I think has better fixtures. And the only thing is he blanks, but so does Gordon in 29. Eze versus Gordon. If I'm to start one this week, I'd probably start Gordon, I'd say. Vissa in Gakpo in, Kirkers in, Hall out for -4. I'm assuming you meant Vissa in, Gakpo out, and then Kirkers in, Hall out for -4. I think that's fine. But if you're doing that, okay, my opinion has changed a little bit because of the double game week 32 announcement. I no longer think that it's absolutely necessary to sell Gakpo because he's a doubt, and thereafter go and activate the assistant manager on Arne's slot now. Because in double game week 32, there's going to be an extra double game week. None of us expected this. So AM in 31 is going to look very good as well. In which case, right now, if I have Cody Gakpo and I don't have the assistant manager chip active, what I'm likely preferring to do, save the assistant manager for 31, and right now just hold on to Gakpo and pray he gets as many minutes as he can get. That's likely what I do. My opinion has changed a bit from the start of the stream to this point, mainly because of double game week 32 announcement. Already used bench boost in 2024, got 35 points from it. That's really good. Now triple captain this week, wild card in 30. Oh, that's worked out really well for you then. That's worked out really well for you, assistant manager. Double Gameweek 32 has come at a good time for you. Would you go Gakpo to Watkins and save the AM, or Gakpo to below a 6 million striker and get slot? Right now, I would save the AM. Vincent says, Leon, you legend. Thank you for everyone you have done for this community. Everything you've done for this community, can't live without you. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. Munib says AM31. I did triple captain last week. I see. So in your case, what I'm probably gonna do is keep Gakpo and just start him. It's exactly as I described just now. Like, the opinion has changed because of double game week 32. I feel bench boost in 33 is easier because game week 36 many teams will be on the beach. Harder to select players to bench boost in 36. I think that only is the case if I don't think as many teams will be on the beach in 36 as compared to something like a 37 or 38. Because if double game week 36 is to happen, there are at least 4 more fixtures for each team. In which case, I don't think that many teams would have a 4-game gap over other teams. So I think it's not as likely for 36 to be on the beach kind of a game week for many teams. So I think bench boost 36 is still on the cards. But I get what you mean, Toby. It seems like the strategy still for people is to wildcard in 30. My expectation, so 41% would still be on wildcard 30 and choosing the first group of strategies. But my guess is it's mainly because you want to remove the Newcastle and Crystal Palace assets from your team in 29 because they blank, and then wildcard them straight back in. But what I'd say is that Crystal Palace's fixtures aren't that good, that you may not want them so soon. So, I mean, it is a viable strategy. I just wanted to get your opinions on what is more likely that you would do. Matthew says, shall I sell Luis Diaz for Justin Kluivert? Shall I put Emery assistant manager or keep for later? No more chips left except the bench boost. If you haven't activated your assistant manager, save it, use it in 31 to get an extra fixture. Do you think Trent will start? I think Trent will. Which team is doubling in 32? It's in the title of today's stream. Newcastle and Palace will double. Sell Gakpo for Rao and Hall for Trent for -4. Don't think I'd do that. Would I be keen to sell a Liverpool asset and then bring in another Liverpool asset as a defender? I think I find another way to get Trent then if it's in your case. Because if you already have Gakpo, there's no real push to sell him now, I guess. Because the assistant manager is no longer something that people need to rush out and go and do. VJ says, where is everyone from? Pickford or Sells? This week I prefer Pickford this week. Is this a good game week for triple captain? Yes, it's great. Because if you're not using the assistant manager now, it's basically a free game week for you to use anything else. So triple captain is fine as well. It is also one of the last few double game weeks for Liverpool. So I don't mind using it on Salah if you have. Kluivert will start. The guess is that he will, because he says he will be there, whatever that means. Keep Wood or swap with Mateta. If you have Wood, just keep him. There's no real need to make that kind of a move. Got 152 points last week thanks to your help. Well, it's great to know that you got a really good score. I'm glad to be able to help. I, on the other hand, didn't do very well. I only got 108 points, I think. But hopefully this week is going to be a better week. Munoz to Hausen. Not necessary. Not necessary at all. Should I still sell Luis Diaz for Justin Kluivert? I think you could keep Luis Diaz. Like, there's no real need to sell any Liverpool players now that you have. Like, Game Week 25 is still a double for Liverpool players, so there's no real need to be in a rush to get rid of them. Gakpo to Watkins as he's in the squad. The truth is that I think neither get really good minutes. That's the truth. And if your plan is to navigate Game Week 29 with free transfers, I don't think that's a move I would do. The situation is obviously different if you have lots of free transfers then. If you have like 5 free transfers, 4 free transfers, you're ready to bring in someone like Watkins and then transfer him out later down the line. Like that obviously means that you're in a much more advantageous position, so I don't mind it if you have lots of free transfers. But if not, generally the thinking I would say is that you don't have to bring in an Aston Villa player now because later down the line you have to transfer them out. Or you got slot, but Gakpo want to play. Don't really understand what that means. Got 151. Very, very nice. Lots of huge scores. Like, I know, like I dropped a lot in terms of rank in Game Week 24. It was a painful game week, especially with how long and drawn out it was. Munoz or Kirkes? I will start Kirkes this week. When is your wedding, if you don't mind me asking? It's fine. It's fine. Thanks for asking. It's in June. Don't ask me why it's in June, but I would say that definitely it being the break for the Premier League has something to do with it. It's also to space out the events, I guess you could say. Because during the downtime and there's no football, like usually the weekends are a little bit more free. So yeah, that's when I'm having the wedding. Vissa or Ethan Wanieri? I think right now you still go Vissa. I think you still go Vissa. But Wanieri is cheap. Like, it depends where you need your cheap player. So slot already banned. Can we still buy him as assistant manager? Yes, you can. But would I use it now? Not exactly. I would prefer saving it for AM in 31 instead. Show some love this Valentine's Day and give a like. Thank you very much, VJ. Please do drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. Double Game Week 32 is announced, by the way. So for those of you who have just joined, that is the earth-shattering news. Alright, I'm not sure how long we're gonna go for. I'm not sure. We might do another 5. Might do another 5 to 10 minutes. Just checking if there's any other kind of updates. I mean, at this point, I don't put it past the Premier League to do whatever. So just checking on Twitter, see if there's any updates. Okay. Alright, yeah, so nothing much in terms of extra news. There's enough to mess us up already. So Double Game Week 32 is currently the biggest news that we have. Watkins being fit, also something that people are excited about, but I just say temper your expectations a little bit with his minutes. Isak to Watkins, 1 free transfer. I wouldn't do that. Can I use a triple captain for Salah this week? If I had the triple captain, I would use it on Salah this week because it's one of the last few double game weeks for Liverpool. Am I back? Yeah, I think I'm back. Right. That's the thing about not having my usual setup, because the mic is here. It's like right below me. It's like a clip-on mic basically. But yeah, I think I'm back. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Am I back? Am I back? Am I not back? Could you guys spam in the chat if the mic is back? I hope it is. All right, awesome stuff. Okay. All right, awesome. Let me just get back to the questions. Okay, I'm gonna have to like speed through them because we're gonna end the stream in, I'd say 15, not 15, like 10 minutes. So just drop all your questions in. I'm gonna like speed through all of them. Dan the Man says, hi Consult, stuck in work. What's the latest on Watkins? Watkins is fit, but I would also say to temper your expectations on how many minutes he's going to get. 2 free transfers with Gakpo, João Pedro, and Isak. I would keep Gakpo. I would keep Isak. João Pedro, I think you could sell. But he has a good fixture next week. But I would be keen on doing something like João Pedro to Watkins if you could afford it. Which would be a better pick amongst the Palace defenders, Munoz, Kehi, or the Kroll? This is definitely Munoz. Double game week 32, yes. What's the impact to double game week 33 and double game week 36? The impact, based off of what I can think of right now, is that it would make double game week 33 slightly smaller than we expected. So maybe the bench boost in 33 is slightly less attractive, but still I would think that 33 is going to be the bigger double game week than double game week 36. So it doesn't change too much in terms of chip strategy specifically, especially because 32 comes at a time where I think people would have wildcarded by then. So if anything, it makes the current strategy even more popular, I'd say, because you just lose your Palace and Newcastle players for 29, bring them back in straight away in 30, and then if you need to assistant manager in 31, go ahead. And then, yeah, pretty much, I think bench boost and AM is going to be pretty tricky to decide if you still have both of them available. Because you can't bench boost and AM in 33 both at the same time. So you have to make a trade-off there. But we'll get more information later down the line. Get Watkins on Bumo. I would say that Bumo is the better pick for the longer term because he has good fixtures now, but also plays in 29 as opposed to Watkins. Would you double up on Arsenal defense this week? I have Raya in goal and I have money to upgrade Milenkovic to Gabriel. I don't think that is a necessary move. Pickford or sells? I would prefer Pickford this week. Bench one out of Semenyo, Kluivert, Palmer, Visser, Isak, and Gakpo. I think Visser is the one. So which is the bigger double game week? 32 or 36? Definitely 36 is going to be bigger than 32. 32 is only a double for 2 teams, but they're going to be at least 4 teams doubling in 36. Let me see. Okay, if I miss your questions, please type it in again, because I'm literally speeding through the questions. Matthew says, where are you from? I'm from Singapore. Leon, you free hit in a blank or double game week. Toby, I would be free hitting still in the blank game week 34. That still poses to me the biggest threat, because the teams that double in 33 are likely going to be the teams that blank in 34. So because of that reason, I would still think that free hit 34 is well and truly the strategy that I prefer. Bench one out of Semenyo, Kluivert, Palmer, Visser, Isak, and Gakpo. I would say Visser is the one. Isak to Watkins for -4, worth it, brother? I don't think so. bench Vissa or Mateta. I also own Pickford. I know you already answered, but the mic cut out. I apologize for that. I would bench Vissa and I would start Mateta despite also owning Pickford. Hope that answers your question. Would you leave Pickford or switch to sell? Just leave it on Pickford. I think that's fine. Is Konza a sell now? I would say yes. He's not fit for this double at least. Bench 1. Gakpo, Wood, Isak, Rogers, and Bumo, and Dango. Very, very tricky. Really tricky, really tricky. I find it hard to just bench Gakpo, even though he's a bit of a doubt. So I would say Gakpo, Isak, Rogers, and Bumo all have to start. It's down to Wood or Dango then. I'll leave that to you. Will Gakpo start both games? My guess is no, to be honest. Matthew from Singapore as well. Very nice to see you. Tom Hawthorne, Senator. I'm Singaporean. Nice to know that there's a Singapore audience as well. One of the funny things I think was during the Lunar New Year visitations, like usually what happens is that we go around like to different relatives' houses. So one of the funny things is that I actually met one of my relatives who so my cousin's partner watches my content. So that was a really cool experience. But yeah, nice to know that you guys from Singapore as well. Bench Sa or Gakpo? I wouldn't bench Gakpo if it's for Sa. 80 likes, can we get to 100? Can we? I mean, the turnout today has been surprisingly good because I honestly didn't think that many people would come down today. I mean, thank you if you are here spending your Valentine's Day talking about a game of choosing 15 players with me. Now that I think about it, it is pretty insane. It is pretty insane. Okay, the phone's just gone. I think that's the call to end the stream. Give me a moment. Let me just finish up the stream and we'll call it a day. If I have Kepa as the goalkeeper, which one player would you start? If you have Robinson, Mikalenko, or Howson in your lineup, I would say either one of Mikalenko or Howson. I think I would lean towards Howson still. Yeah. Supporting from Hong Kong, very, very nice. Thank you for tuning in. Don't you think Palmer points will be impacted with no Jackson? Fair enough. But, you know, the truth is that in the Premier League, Brighton just have not kept a clean sheet for the longest time that I can remember because I have Verbruggen and I know full well that Verbruggen has not been keeping clean sheets. So, despite Jackson not being there, I still see some goals for Chelsea. Bruno de Kluivert for free. Probably not. C-May represent. Pongo. Alan from Singapore as well. Very, very nice. 14 Feb, 14 more likes, says Calvin. Over 10 likes away from 100 likes. I mean, that is insane. Thank you, all of you guys, for tuning in. Random Penguin says we're nerds. I mean, we're fully nerding out right now. Like, double Game Week 32 announcement has had us more on the ropes than it being Valentine's Day today. Think about that. Ciao Pedro. Sorry. Verbruggen or Fabianski, I would go Verbruggen and Fabianski. They're starting Areola now though. I think I'd go Verbruggen. Ciao Pedro or Ilanga or Robinson. I would go Ilanga. Ciao Pedro and then Robinson in that order. Jimenez or Diallo. Wow, these are interesting players. Give me a while. Brothers are like your hands and legs. Not too sure what to think about that, Toby, to be honest. Best Bournemouth midfielder to bring in, I would say it's Clivert, but bear in mind that his partner is giving birth this weekend, I think. So people are unsure as to whether he'll be with the squad and playing the game. But if not, if you don't want to run that risk, you could go Semenyo. No chip is good for 29. I think no chip is most definitely the way people are going to go for in 29, especially now with Double Game Week 32 announcements coming. It makes so much more sense to just dead end to 29 and then wild card in 30 to bring them back in. Ramadian says, so no Valentine's dinner with your fiance. Yes, I had a Valentine's Day dinner with her. It's precisely why I've explained I need to come on a deadline stream to chat with you guys from about 10ish. So yeah, I pretty much spent the day after work with her until the stream started. So has to be done, right? Has to be done. Start one, Henderson or Pickford. I would go for Henderson. Henderson or Pickford. I would say Henderson. Yeah. João Pedro or Ilanga or Robinson. I'll go Ilanga, João Pedro, and then Robinson in that order. Bishop says hi from India. Whom to start? I would go Munoz. Good night, says Matthew. Good night to you as well. Start Kirkes or Munoz. I prefer Kirkes over Munoz. Quick question: have you ever been to South Africa? Nah, I haven't been to South Africa, but I like to go. It's a really nice place from what I've heard. Ghost Dude 61 says from Bedok in Singapore, fan of your channel. Thank you very much. Like we should do something we should do something in Singapore, like something like an FPL meets or something. We'll see what happens, but appreciate the local support. It's really nice. Hi Leon, you're lucky to have an understanding fiance. She's really supportive, by the way. Like that I'm not gonna lie, there are some days that the inertia to record a video is pretty strong, especially after like a long day of work. But it's nice to have a fiance like I have, who actually encourages me to continue uploading videos consistently, and I would go and do it right after she tells me, because yeah, obviously I get a bit of encouragement and boost from it. So yeah, I think I can't ask for a more supportive fiance. Is Kyrgyz a better transfer compared to Howson? For sure. Right, Kyrgyz, if you can afford, he's the one that I would go for. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at this. We have done 1 hour and 30 minutes, I'd say. Thank you all again for tuning in on a Friday night to spend your Valentine's Day with me. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys. Double Game Week 32 has been announced for those of you who just joined the stream. So just a TLDR is that it does not change chip strategies too much in terms of the future, but right now it does, because AM in 25, for those who have not activated it, would generally be not as attractive as it was before, because I would think that you should AM in 31 instead. Alright, so yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Double Game Week 32 announcement. You guys, from Badok as well, very nice. AM to use this week. If you have your AM, save it. Blink twice if she's there right now. Well, she's not. That was funny. Was a fun stream. 2 more likes. Are we at 2 more likes to 100? Oh, we're at 99 likes. We're gonna get there. Thank you all very much. This has been a very fun stream. So all the best for Double Game Week 25. I hope you guys have had a good day, have had a good Valentine's Day, and also managed to, I guess, get your questions answered in today's stream. I appreciate all of you coming down, and I wish again all of you the best for Double Game Week 25. 100 likes. Smashed it, all of you guys. Thank you very much. Please create a Premier League for Singapore. I mean, we'll see what I can get done, right? I think there are quite a number of group chats that I've seen that have only like Singaporean people in there. But the truth is that I would want as much as possible to involve like the wider community as well. So maybe I might think of just creating a WhatsApp group chat. Like, I don't know what you guys think, but creating a WhatsApp group chat for like any single person who wants to just go in and just chat. Like, I currently don't have that, which is just a group chat for any and everyone who watches my videos and just wants to just have a chat. So I might consider doing that. Let me know what you guys think of it. If you are still here, would you be keen on joining a WhatsApp group? Yeah, just to chat FPL. If you guys are keen, let me know in the chat. If not, thank you again. I've dragged this on for too long, but I would catch up with you guys again in the next video. I would try to get a video out tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, because I think I have to digest a bit of the double Gameweek 32 announcements. Then after that, I also want to share a bit of my transfer plans moving forward after double Gameweek 25. Right, so there we go. Yeah, you guys are keen on it. Okay, I'll see if I can set something up. Yeah, let's see what I can do. I'm pretty keen on doing that. It's just a chat that everyone can just go in and just, you know, just chat FPL. So let's do that. If not, thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you guys again very, very, very soon. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.